Ryan had planned every detail. The open-air concert was packed. Thousands of people swaying under the summer night sky, lights flickering like stars. The headliner had just finished their set when Ryan took the stage, microphone trembling slightly in his hand. "Emily," he called out, his voice cutting through the buzz of the crowd. She turned, eyes wide, hands flying to her mouth as a spotlight found them. People around her started to cheer. Ryan dropped to one knee, holding out a velvet box with a simple, sparkling ring. "We've been together 3 years. You've made me a better man, and I want to spend the rest of my life proving how much I love you. Will you marry me?" The crowd roared. Emily blinked back tears. Her lips parted. And then, "Don't say yes." The voice came sharp and clear from the crowd. A woman pushed her way to the front, face flushed, eyes blazing. She climbed over the barrier, ignoring the security scrambling after her. "That's my boyfriend, too," she shouted. "Ryan Matthews. We've been dating for 8 months." A stunned silence swept over the crowd like a shockwave. Ryan's face went sheet white. Emily staggered back, her trembling hands lowering from her mouth. "You told me you were single," the woman snapped, jabbing a finger at him. "You told me you weren't ready for anything serious." The murmurs turned to gasps. Phones shot into the air, cameras recording. Emily's eyes locked on Ryan. "Is this true?" Ryan opened his mouth, but no words came. Emily's face hardened. The love, the tears, the magic of the moment, all gone in an instant. "You know what?" she said, voice steady but cold. "You two deserve each other." She spun on her heel and walked away, through the crowd, past the stunned onlookers, never looking back. The woman from the crowd turned to Ryan, eyes narrowing. "You're a liar," she hissed, then tossed her drink in his face before storming off in the opposite direction. Ryan stood there, kneeling on an empty stage, a ring in his hand and 1,000 strangers watching his world fall apart. Ryan remained frozen, kneeling in the spotlight, the crowd now a restless sea of murmurs, laughter, and judgment. The band members exchanged awkward glances behind him, unsure whether to step in or pretend this wasn't happening. A voice from the back yelled, "Bro, that's cold." Another shouted, "You deserve it." The chant started softly, rippling through the crowd. "Liar, liar, liar." Ryan finally stood, face burning. He tried to speak into the mic. "Listen, it's not like that." Booing drowned him out. Security stepped forward. One of them gently took the microphone. "Let's wrap it up, man." He had no choice. He climbed off the stage, the engagement ring still clutched in his hand, feeling the weight of 1,000 eyes burning holes through him. Emily was gone, swallowed by the crowd. The other woman, gone too. Ryan walked past a group of strangers. One of them smirked and said loud enough for him to hear, "Guess that's what happens when you play 2 hearts at once." Another chimed in, "Whole world's watching now, buddy." He shoved his way past them and stumbled into the parking lot, heart thudding in his chest, throat dry. For the first time in years, Ryan Matthews was completely, utterly alone. And this time, the cameras were still rolling. By morning, the video had gone viral. "Double live proposal fail" was trending on every platform. Memes, reaction videos, and brutal commentary poured in by the second. Ryan's social media exploded. His DMs were flooded, half with hate, half with strangers roasting him with laughing emojis. But the worst blow came when his boss called. "Ryan, I think you know why I'm calling." This has nothing to do with work," Ryan stammered. "You're in client relations. Half our contracts are built on trust. Do you really think this circus doesn't affect the firm?" By noon, he was out of a job. Emily stayed silent. No statements. No posts. She blocked Ryan on every platform. But a week later, she posted a single photo, her standing on a beach, holding a sign that read, "Dodged a bullet." The comments poured in. "Queen behavior. We stand a woman who walks away. Her glow-up is going to be legendary." The other woman, her name was Kira, she went live the next night. "I'm not doing this for attention," Kira said, "but I want every woman out there to know, trust your gut. I knew something felt off with him. Turns out I was right." Her live hit over 2 million views. Ryan tried to post a public apology. It got ratioed in under an hour. He deleted it. Weeks passed. The world moved on. But Ryan didn't. He watched from the sidelines as Emily started a travel vlog, gaining followers by the thousands. Kira opened a women's support group for people dealing with cheating partners. And Ryan? He learned what it felt like to be a walking warning sign. No dates, no job, no friends who didn't quietly distance themselves. His perfect proposal turned into a perfect public downfall. 3 months later, Ryan sat alone in a dingy apartment, the kind where the neighbors fought through thin walls and the air smelled like regret. His savings were running out. The job interviews? None called back. He scrolled through his phone, watching Emily's latest video. She was smiling in Greece, sun-kissed, free, and glowing a way she never had with him. He dropped the phone on the couch. For the first time, Ryan didn't feel angry, didn't feel sorry for himself. He finally realized this wasn't about bad luck. This wasn't about the crowd or the cameras or the women. It was about him, his choices, his lies, his arrogance. And now he had to live with the man he'd made himself into. On a rainy evening, Ryan walked past a newsstand and saw a headline, "Woman Who Walked Away, Emily's Story to be Published." He smirked faintly, tucked his hands in his jacket pockets, and kept walking. For once, he wasn't running a game, wasn't chasing anyone, just a man finally facing his own reflection. And maybe that was the real punishment. The life he could have had, gone. Winter came early that year. The cold crept in through the cracks in Ryan's windows, just like the loneliness did. The silence was louder now. No text alerts. No meetings. No laughter. Just the dull hum of a radiator and the occasional bark of a stray dog in the alley below. One night, after weeks of ignoring it, he finally opened the email from his mother. A simple line. "Ryan, I saw the video. We need to talk. Your father would be ashamed and worried." He didn't reply. He couldn't. What could he say? That he didn't even recognize himself anymore? He poured himself a drink, but halfway through he stopped. He stared into the glass, then poured it down the sink. And that was the beginning of rock bottom. Not a crash, but a quiet, painful awareness that no one would come to fix him. Across the country, Emily was healing. Her memoir was almost finished. The title? Almost His Wife. It wasn't a bitter book. It wasn't a revenge tale. It was about trusting yourself, about how love shouldn't come with lies. She wrote about the good times too, the man she thought he was. But the final chapter? That was about the moment she walked away and never looked back. It ended with a single sentence. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is leave. 1 year later, Ryan walked into a community center, head low. A handwritten sign read, "Truth and Accountability Group, Thursdays, 6 p.m. He didn't know what to say. Didn't know if he'd ever make it right. But he sat down, and for once he didn't lie. "I was the guy in that proposal video," he said softly. "I hurt 2 women who trusted me. And now, I'm just trying to figure out how to not be that guy anymore." No applause. No forgiveness. Just nods from others who knew how far you had to fall before you could ever rise. Emily never saw him again. But sometimes, when she spoke to young women at her book signings, she'd pause, smile gently, and say, "If someone ever forces you to choose between your dignity and their love, choose yourself." And every time someone in the crowd would cry, the internet forgot him, but he never forgot them. Not Emily, not Kira, not the moment his double life shattered in front of 1,000 strangers. It wasn't the end of him, but it was the end of who he'd been. And maybe that was enough.